It was just another humid afternoon in a crowded street market, until a fragile voice rose above the noise. From behind a fruit stand came a boy no older than 12, barefoot, his clothes faded, his guitar patched with tape. But when he strummed the first notes of Hotel California, time seemed to stop. People turned. Vendors froze mid-shout. Even the traffic horns outside faded into a distant hum. His voice was pure, trembling but powerful, carrying the ache of hunger and the depth of hope. He sang like he had lived every lyric. You can check out any time you like, and a tear rolled down a stranger's cheek. When he finished, no one moved. Then a woman whispered, "That boy sings with his soul." The boy smiled shyly, bowing his head, and placed his paper cup on the ground. A few coins clinked inside. Someone asked his name. He said softly, "Elio." That night, an old vendor uploaded the video online. Within hours, millions watched. Hearts broke, tears flowed, and comments flooded, "Find this boy." And somewhere across the world, in a studio lit by gold lights, a famous talent show judge watched that same video, eyes wide, heart heavy. "Bring him here," she whispered. The next week, Elio stood trembling under a ceiling of lights that sparkled like stars. His oversized shirt brushed against his knees. The audience was massive, cameras, judges, and a sea of faces he couldn't see through the blur of nerves. A judge leaned forward gently. "Where did you learn to sing like that, young man?" Elio swallowed hard. "My mama taught me. Before she got sick." A hush fell across the room. Then, the music began, that haunting guitar intro. Elio closed his eyes and began, on a dark desert highway. Each note carried pain and beauty. The hall fell silent. The camera zoomed in on tears glistening in his eyes. Halfway through, his voice cracked. He froze. The audience held their breath. Then, in the front row, an elderly janitor, with kind eyes and worn hands, mouthed, "You can do it." Elio took a deep breath and continued. The final chorus soared, raw and breathtaking. When the last note faded, the crowd erupted into cheers that shook the hall. The judges stood, tears streaming down their faces. And then, the judge slammed the golden buzzer. Gold confetti rained like sunlight. Elio dropped to his knees, covering his face, sobbing. Not because of the fame, but because, for the first time in his life, someone believed he was worth listening to. After the show, the cameras stopped rolling. The applause turned to silence, and Elio sat backstage, staring at a handful of confetti, still trembling. "Great job, kid," someone said. It was the janitor from the front row, sweeping quietly near the exit. Elio smiled. "You helped me finish my song." "Thank you." The old man chuckled softly. "Your voice, it sounded familiar. Like I'd heard it long ago." Elio tilted his head. "Maybe my mama sang it to you. She used to sing Hotel California, too." The man froze, eyes welling with tears. "Your mama's name, what was it?" "Mira Ramon," Elio said softly. The broom fell from the man's hand. His lips trembled. "Mira, my daughter." Elio blinked. "What?" The janitor took a shaky breath. "I lost her years ago when we were separated by a storm. I searched every shelter. I never found her again." Silence filled the room. Then, slowly, the man opened his arms. Elio's eyes filled. He stepped forward and hugged him tightly, crying into the man's shirt. Two souls, broken by years of distance and hardship, reunited not through words, but through a song. The old man whispered, "Your voice carried her memory back to me." And that night, beneath the empty stage lights, a grandfather found his grandson, and a boy found his family. The story of Elio's golden buzzer spread like wildfire, but what touched hearts even deeper was what came next. A video surfaced, Elio, hand in hand with the janitor, introducing him as his long-lost grandfather. "This man believed in me when I couldn't believe in myself," Elio said before millions. People around the world wept. Donations poured in. A hospital reached out to help Elio's ailing mother, Mira. A few days later, cameras followed Elio and his grandfather into a small hospital room. Mira lay weak but smiling. When she saw her father at the door, her hand flew to her mouth. "Papa?" He knelt beside her bed, crying. "I never stopped looking for you." Elio stood between them, tears streaming down his cheeks. "Ma, he found us. And I got the golden buzzer." Mira smiled faintly, touching her son's face. "You carried our story in your song, Anak." The nurse watching them whispered, "This is what hope looks like." The reunion went viral again, but not for fame. People saw something rare, the power of forgiveness, of family, of love reborn after pain. Elio kissed his mother's forehead and whispered, "We're going home soon, Ma." And the world watched, believing in kindness again. Months later, the grand stage was full once again, but this time, Elio wasn't a contestant. He was a guest performer. He walked slowly to the center, carrying the same patched guitar that once echoed in a marketplace. The lights dimmed. He took a deep breath and began a gentle new version of Hotel California. But tonight, he changed one line, his voice trembling with meaning. "You can check out any time you like, but you can never leave the love behind." The audience stood silent, spellbound. In the front row sat his mother, healthier now, holding his grandfather's hand. Both were crying, not from sadness, but gratitude. As the final note faded, Elio smiled, stepped down from the stage, and handed his golden buzzer trophy to his grandfather. "This isn't mine," he said softly. "You taught Mama. She taught me. This belongs to you." The old man hugged him tightly as the audience erupted in applause. The announcer's voice trembled. Sometimes, the brightest stages aren't lit by fame, but by kindness. As the crowd stood, clapping endlessly, the camera panned to a child watching in awe. The child whispered, "When I grow up, I want to sing like him, not to win, but to heal." And just like that, the circle of kindness began again, one voice inspiring another, across generations.